Minecraft 1.0. I had an interesting experience playing through it, and I have some thoughts. This video will have 3 sections. First will be about my experience playing through to the end credits. Then I'll give some of my opinions on version 1.0 in general. And finally, I'll explain why I made the video series, along with some general musings on Minecraft and gaming content on YouTube. I recently played through version 1.0 of Minecraft, which was the first version of the game to include the end dimension, the Ender Dragon, and of course, end credits. If you haven't seen it, the complete series of my playthrough, as well as the shorter director's cut, are linked in the description. The too long didn't watch summary is this. I started a standard Minecraft world in version 1.0 with the express goal of beating the Ender Dragon and getting to the credits. It was a random seed on hard difficulty, and I specifically didn't look at any changelogs or feature lists ahead of time, so I was relying entirely on my pre-existing game knowledge and memory of how the game has changed. I started playing Minecraft in early beta, so I have already played version 1.0 when it originally came out. But that was over 12 years ago now, so I didn't really remember what the experience was like. To make a long story short, I actually really enjoyed my playthrough, but mostly in spite of version 1.0, rather than because of it. I enjoyed the challenge of focusing exclusively on getting to the end to slay the dragon, which stands in contrast to my ordinary Minecraft gameplay, which is usually long-term survival multiplayer where I spend a lot of time building, farming, and engaging in shenanigans. The change of focus combined with my partial ignorance of the state of the game created a relatively novel experience where I had a decent idea of what I needed to do, but all my plans shifted as I learned more about how 1.0 differs from my modern Minecraft expectations. I was hoping that I would find the experience nostalgic, but that ended up not being the case. Most of the core gameplay mechanics had already been added by 1.0, resulting in what felt simply like less refined gameplay compared to modern versions. Hunger, sprinting, farming, mining, and the basic path of caving for gear and obsidian, going to the nether for blaze powder, and then finding a stronghold and opening the end portal were all close enough to my modern experience that they didn't feel special. I do wonder if even earlier versions, prior to the Beta 1.8 Adventure update, would actually feel more nostalgic to me. Although I enjoyed myself, the gameplay did get repetitive, especially grinding for ender pearls. Early caving was the best part of the experience, even though I quickly realized iron armor made me basically invincible. Caving offered variety that the later parts of the run lacked. Exploring the nether was also fairly fun, and learning how to deal with blazes without a fire resistance potion was an interesting challenge. But once I realized I just needed a roof over the blaze spawner, getting the rest of the blaze rods was monotonous, and any danger the nether posed seemed to evaporate. Thankfully, I didn't need to spend much time in the nether, and was able to quickly find a fortress. The real grind was collecting ender pearls. Even without counting my unfortunate death when I fell into what I had hoped was deep enough water, finding endermen was the longest part of the experience, especially since I had to find ways to pass the time as I waited for night. Thankfully, using deserts meant I was able to collect 2 to 4 pearls a night with good success, but I still ended up 1 ender eye short when I found the stronghold, leading to most of an hour's delay in actually opening the portal. With no alternative source of ender pearls, I had no choice but to make the most of enderman spawning. Finally, the dragon fight itself was abysmal. The dragon immediately killing me when I first entered the end was genuinely hilarious, but that was by far the highlight of the entire fight for me. The dragon's dead simple, one-attack behavior was boring and led to a long fight, while minor inconveniences like arrows only rendering for the first part of their flight path made destroying the crystals an aggravating task as well. I think my complete lack of enthusiasm when I finally killed the dragon speaks for itself. We are now 1 hit away. Cue the epic music. This is going to be it right here. There's no sound effect. What a lackluster fight. I've already touched on a few game mechanics, particularly the dragon fight, but there's plenty more to say. Version 1.0 is actually a really interesting version of Minecraft. So many things were added in 1.0 or in the previous Beta 1.8 update that when it initially came out, it was an absolute game changer. Yet going back to it now, it seems half-baked and unrefined. 1.0 added the entire end dimension, nether fortresses and blazes, potions, animal breeding, villages and villagers, end portals, mushrooms and mushroom islands, and enchanting, besides countless minor tweaks and features. And Beta 1.8, just 1 update prior, had laid the groundwork by adding strongholds, hunger, a ton of food items, experience, sprinting, hold to charge bows, and creative mode. Together, these 2 updates completely changed the trajectory of the game and many of the core gameplay loops. However, version 1.0 only represents the first iteration of these features, and playing it now, the rough edges are readily obvious. Enchanting requires excessive experience with no ways to modify or combine enchanted items. Villagers do nothing and have no trades, the dragon fight is terrible, and the end serves basically no purpose other than to make an Enderman farm. The hunger system's poor implementation makes healing a chore, boats are horrible, the view distance for passive mobs, as well as arrows, is hilariously short, keyboard and mouse shortcuts in the inventory are primitive and limited, armor is completely unbalanced, especially considering the addition of protection enchantments, mob pathfinding is primitive to the point of feeling broken, Enderman and the Ender Dragon are missing many sound effects, and the list of deficiencies goes on without even considering features that weren't added until later, like, say, the elytra. The features actually in 1.0 were, in my opinion, incomplete, unrefined, and poorly balanced. In my playthrough, I didn't do any creative building or build any redstone contraptions or mob farms, but I can confidently say that those are the areas where 1.0 lacks the most when compared to modern Minecraft. The block palette was small, the redstone possibilities were fewer, and the number of interesting farms was a fraction of what we have today. So even though 1.0 contained nearly all the core game mechanics still in modern Minecraft, going back to it now, it really feels like an empty and unrefined shell. Older versions have major differences to core mechanics, giving them actual charm and, I think, justified nostalgia, though perhaps I should test that theory in the future. So much has been built on the foundation laid down in 1.0 that I don't see any reason to go back to it from modern Minecraft, except perhaps to experience the differences firsthand. I'm now going to switch gears away from the game itself and towards video content and gaming YouTube. So if you don't care about that, you can stop watching now without missing anything. When I decided to make this series, I did so with no expectation of views. Recording the videos gave me a good excuse to take on the challenge of beating 1.0, and playing the challenge gave me a good excuse to make some videos. I was certainly curious to see if the videos would get any traction, since I just sat down, recorded them, and uploaded them basically uncut, in the manner of some of the earliest Minecraft YouTube series. I thought that the combination of 2011-era Minecraft with 2010-2011-era Let's Play videos might have the right level of nostalgia for some people, and that did seem to be the case based on the comments. I am glad that a few old viewers stuck around for the videos, and I've been pleasantly surprised that several new viewers found the series. So if you're a new subscriber, welcome. I must admit that my rationale for uploading short and basically raw gameplay was not actually to emulate classic Let's Plays, but rather to be quick and easy to record and edit, with the nod to classics like X's Adventures in Minecraft being an intentional side effect. Looking out into the broader Minecraft YouTube scene, I've seen a few major philosophies emerge over the years. Many popular channels don't have long-running or consistent series, and post highly edited, hyperactive videos of minigames, social games, mod explorations, and other fairly shallow content. The channels that still focus on long-running survival gameplay have moved towards more and more off-camera work, edited down into 20-minute episodes, with a focus on continuing to build bigger and better and to accomplish something major in every single video. I've also seen creators burn out from the stress and time commitment of the increasingly demanding videos, even while they move away from showing actual gameplay, relying on time lapses and post-build tours to show off their accomplishments. More recently, though, I've started to see a shift away from that need to always make the next video bigger and better, probably as a reaction to the stress and commitment issues. I mainly watch Hermitcraft, and I've seen several hermits start uploading longer videos that spend more time getting into the details or showing more of the gameplay, as well as a dialing back on the scope of individual videos. I've also seen more videos composed of longer clips that are more in the moment, with no need to accomplish some arbitrary large achievement. I've fallen in love with this style of bringing the viewer along for the journey, rather than just flash cutting to the end result of some long grind. On Hermitcraft, this has often meant shifting the focus away from fantastic massive builds, and spending more time on the social aspects of their multiplayer experience. I wonder if there is a lesson here that can be applied to single-player experiences and even gaming content in general. It seems like longer-form content in particular is becoming more and more acceptable to viewers in many contexts. And while I don't think this means tightly edited or shorter videos are bad, they can be excellent, I do think that more casual, often longer form gaming content serves a different need, and I'm glad to see it emerging as a real alternative. I see this as an evolution of the classic Let's Play, which I emulated in my own series. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with my assessment of Minecraft 1.0? What style of gaming content do you prefer? Do you have any ideas for future videos? I'm not sure what's next for this channel, but I hope I can make more videos in the future. I'm Immabed, signing out.